Summarize this presentation is a feature that I always knew was available in Copilot in PowerPoint, but I'd never actually used it in a real world setting before, mostly because most of the presentations I usually work with are 10 to 20 slides long and usually pretty self-explanatory and don't need a summary. But this week I was asked to help provide some feedback on a presentation for a colleague who was running a 3-hour interactive workshop with 3 other guest presenters. The deck was huge, the agenda was still being nailed down, and I was coming in cold and I needed to get my head around this presentation quickly. What is the flow? How are they running it? And I thought this would be the perfect time to finally try the summarize this presentation feature. Now, it did give me an overview of the deck, sure, so it worked well for that. But I already knew what the deck was about. So this was good to get a little bit more info, but what I realized is I wasn't asking the right question. I wasn't giving it an explicit enough instruction and direction. I needed to ask what I actually wanted, which is this presentation is for a 3-hour workshop. It has 4 presenters. It includes an exercise. Help me summarize this content into the logical sections with titles and 1 or 2 sub-bullets to help me understand the flow. That was my goal after all. And that's what it did. So it actually did it pretty well. And to be fair, this deck was still a work in progress. It didn't have clear separation of sections or speakers or anything like that. And for someone coming in cold like me, it was actually really hard to understand which bit was which. But Copilot figured it out, and it figured it out pretty well, pretty fast, and enough for me to get across it, understand it, and then I could get straight to work on what I needed to update. So that's how I used Summarize this presentation this week. Let me know if you've used any other similar features in Copilot and PowerPoint.